I'm sure it's every parent's dream and every kid's dream. My son went D1. It's an ego thing.
You have less than 1% chance of playing from the youth level, and you have a 4 to 5% chance of playing from the high school level. So stop being picky.
Absolutely. Stop being picky. Be somebody that wants to go play at the next level and kick some butt and make a name for yourself. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jacob. I mean, we looked up the stuff, 15.6 million youth baseball players in America. And there's only about 1.3 million high school kids. So, yeah, it's crazy. And then when you get to college, it's 40,000 college guys. Man, that's tough sledding. So I agree. Don't be picky. Let's rock and roll. Get out there and show everybody what you're made of. So
yeah, we've talked about this before about being on a D2, D3, NAIA. Like, these schools want you, but you're being picky over here. You think that you're better than all these other schools and you need to go D1.
It's, I'm sure it's every parent's dream and every kid's dream. My son went D1. It's an ego thing. Mm-hmm. It doesn't classify anything except that, there's some D1 guys that are really good. Mm-hmm. But, what I tell my kids is, you want to wear the O, or you want to wear, you want to go to a D1 school and be the groundskeeper, be a kid who does charts and make sure that everyone's, doing the uniforms and things like that. Like, that's not what you want to do. You want to go and play, or at least that's how I wanted it. I wanted to go and I wanted to play. Mm-hmm. I wasn't anywhere near the best kid in the area, but I was a hard worker and a grinder. Went D2, had a great experience, loved every minute of it, and so glad I did, because it really panned out really well for me. And yeah, can't be picky, man. Go get it. JUCO, D1, D2, D3, NAIA, anywhere. Just go play.
Yeah, and you have to be thinking about the other people that aren't even from the U.S. that you're competing with,
You're
right?
Absolutely right. Yeah.
You have people from the Dominican Republic, from even, in Europe, that do come over from Europe into the U.S. and play. You have all these Japanese players that are coming in now that are just, tearing up the majors, the minors. And you believe that you have the skill because you're from the Valley, because you're from New York, because you played for a club team that had a big name or something that was attached to it, where your ego just skyrocketed because you got to tell other people that you were a part of that organization.
It's one of those things that, when you get out to minor league baseball, or when you see these guys at the next level, it's worldwide. I mean, we're getting Cubans, we're getting Canadians, we're getting guys from the Netherlands, guys from Italy. I mean, they're all over the place. And the reality is, to be selfish enough to say, "Oh, I want to go D1," and not give yourself an opportunity to play. Cool. So you're a D1. You're on a D1 team, and you're at whatever school you want to call it, Pac-12, Big Ten, whatever it is, and you're the third string second baseman when you could be the first string second baseman at a D3 or a D2. Is when you leave like college, are you going to be like, man, I did everything I could to really get to that next level? I just feel like you're not, and that's something that, I think people regret. And I think a lot of kids do regret that.
Yeah. And on that mental note too, is like, I think that kids have to reevaluate themselves and have a self-assessment where they need to ask themselves, hey, am I really looking to play ball at the next level? Am I looking to go minors, majors after college? Or is this just college, end of the road after 4 or 5 years, and I'm done? I want to go into the workforce and so on from there. And being able to have that self-evaluation and understanding about where you want to go in the next 4 years is just vital to not only your mentality when you're playing the game, because then okay, I have 4 years left to play this game. I need to ball out.
Yeah.
And when you do go determine what school you end up, landing at, you're going to have a huge impact on that team because you know that you're only going to be there for a certain amount of time. or you even grind harder because you want to get to the next level. And it's just about that mentality that you have going into it. And being at a lower end school, and I preach this a lot, is being a bigger fish in a smaller pond.
Absolutely.
Because if you have the opportunity to show yourself and your capabilities on the field in front of all these other people in a different league, you're going to stand out tremendously.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think that is such a great analogy to use, being that bigger fish in a small pond. You want to be, again, second guy on a D1 team when you can be a possible All-American at a D2, D3 NAIA. Doesn't make any sense to me. Go out there and take care of business, and every college player, whether they say it or not, like, they have a silent confidence or a quiet confidence, you can say, that I'm going to play pro ball. Like, that's why you're out there. That's why you're putting in the grind. That's why you're waking up at 5 a.m, getting your lift in, going to practices, doing your studies, and do these things. Baseball is an avenue to try to get, to a job, but some of those guys want that to be a pro job or a Major League Baseball job. And, it's really, really tough. And no one's going to take you or give you an opportunity at any level in the minors or independent ball or overseas at any of those professional teams if you have no stats and you have no, hey man, I am the best fungo guy you've ever seen. Like, that does not play. That does not translate.
Yeah.
So, I think a lot of people do a disservice to themselves. Go JUCO, get signed. Do what you can to get better. There's so much knowledge out there with the coaches in the areas that everywhere in the country, right? Like, there is knowledgeable baseball people all over the country. Find out who they are, trust them, and go play for those guys, because that's what is really going to be beneficial to getting you to that next level.